In a quiet corner of a rural Filipino village, where rusted tin roofs rattled with every rainfall and bare feet knew the dirt better than shoes, lived a boy the world had never noticed. His home was a fragile structure of wood scraps and patched tarpaulin, standing more by hope than by strength. Every morning before the sun rose, he helped his mother fetch water from a distant pump, then walked miles to school with an empty stomach and a heart full of unspoken dreams. Music was not a luxury in his life, it was an escape. He had never owned a guitar, never taken a lesson, never even imagined a stage with lights. Yet, whenever the radio crackled to life in a neighbor's house, he would stop, listen, and disappear into the sound. Among all the songs drifting through the air, one melody haunted him most: Hotel California. He didn't know English well, didn't fully understand the lyrics, but something in that song spoke to him like a whisper meant only for his soul. At night, lying on a thin mat beside his siblings, he practiced the tune softly, afraid to be heard, afraid to hope too much. Poverty had taught him silence, but music taught him courage. Still, no one, not his neighbors, not his teachers, not even himself, could have imagined that this unseen boy would soon carry a song across oceans and into millions of hearts. The boy's voice was not trained, it was forged. It carried the weight of missed meals, the ache of watching his parents struggle, and the quiet strength of surviving when giving up would have been easier. He sang while sweeping yards for spare coins, while helping fishermen untangle nets, and while rocking his younger siblings to sleep. Each note came from a place deeper than technique. It came from truth. When a local talent scout visited his school to invite students to audition for a national singing competition, the boy almost didn't go. Fear told him he didn't belong. Poverty told him stages were for other people. But his teacher, hearing him hum during class one day, insisted. Standing in line at the audition, barefoot among polished shoes, he felt invisible again. Then the music started. As he sang Hotel California, something extraordinary happened. His voice, raw, haunting, and impossibly mature, filled the room. Judges froze. Conversations stopped. It wasn't just good. It was unsettling, the kind of sound that makes you forget where you are. When he finished, there was silence, then disbelief. "Where did you learn to sing like that?" One judge whispered. The boy simply replied, "From life." That single audition became the first crack in the wall separating him from the world, a moment where poverty loosened its grip and possibility quietly stepped in. When the boy finally stepped onto the televised stage, the lights were blinding, the crowd overwhelming. Millions would soon be watching. Though he couldn't yet comprehend what that meant, his clothes were simple, his posture humble, but his eyes carried something rare: resilience. As the first notes of Hotel California played, skepticism flickered across the judges' faces. The song was legendary, difficult, and unforgiving. Then he sang. From the very first line, the atmosphere shifted. His voice flowed effortlessly through the melody, rich with emotion, controlled yet aching, familiar yet entirely new. The audience leaned forward. Judges exchanged stunned glances. This was not imitation, it was interpretation. Every lyric felt lived in, every note deliberate. When he reached the chorus, the crowd erupted, some already wiping tears from their eyes. By the final note, the boy stood trembling, unaware that he had just delivered one of the most unforgettable performances in the show's history. The judges rose to their feet in a standing ovation that seemed to last forever. One judge struggled to speak, finally saying, "You didn't just sing that song, you became it." In that moment, the boy from the village was no longer invisible. He was seen, heard, and celebrated. The stage had not changed him. It had revealed him. Within hours, clips of the performance flooded the internet. Social media exploded. Titles read, "This poor Filipino boy will give you chills," and "the most emotional Hotel California ever sung." Millions clicked. Millions watched. Millions felt something stir inside them. Comments poured in from every corner of the world. People in New York, London, Tokyo, and beyond. "I've heard this song 1,000 times, but never like this. I'm crying and I don't even know why. This boy restored my faith in humanity." Celebrities shared the video. Musicians praised his soul. His story, poverty, perseverance, purity, became inseparable from his voice. Back in his village, neighbors gathered around phones, stunned to see the boy they once passed without a glance now touching hearts worldwide. His parents wept, not for fame, but for validation, that their sacrifices, their struggles, had not been in vain. Donations poured in, opportunities emerged, but more powerful than any money was the message his performance carried. Greatness does not require privilege. Talent does not ask for permission. And sometimes, the most perfect voices rise from the hardest lives. Critics tried to analyze what made the performance so powerful. Was it his tone, his control, his phrasing? But the truth was simpler and deeper. Perfection did not come from flawless technique. It came from honesty. The boy sang as someone who had known confinement, longing, and hope. Much like the song itself, his poverty gave him something money never could: emotional clarity. Every note carried sincerity. Every pause carried meaning. Music teachers began using his performance as an example of emotional storytelling. Psychologists spoke about the universal connection between struggle and art. Fans didn't just listen, they felt understood. The boy had unknowingly given voice to millions who felt trapped in their own Hotel California, unable to leave their circumstances. He showed that pain could become power, and vulnerability could become strength. In interviews, when asked about fame, he said simply, "I just want to sing so people don't feel alone." In that sentence lay the true perfection of his journey. Not the applause, not the numbers, but the impact. Today, the boy's life is forever changed, but his heart remains rooted where it began. He returns to his village often, singing for children who now look at him with wide, hopeful eyes. He tells them, "Your dream is valid, even if no one sees it yet." His story continues to inspire millions, not because it is rare, but because it is possible. From poverty to perfection, from silence to a song heard around the world, his journey reminds us that miracles don't always arrive with thunder. They sometimes come with a trembling voice and a borrowed melody. Hotel California will always be a classic, but through him, it became something more, a bridge between hardship and hope. And long after the applause fades, his voice will remain, a quiet reminder that the world's most powerful stories often begin in the places we least expect. Glowing star,